ending it with NRG and Liquid on Inferno, a map that we've had a lot of fun on so far for the last 2 days, if I may say so.
Who are you calling Scrawny?
Sorry, GG. My bad, T.
We got pistols aplenty here to start things off. We got the smoke double flash for Little Man as well. That kit smoke for Stanislaw. And Daps has already cleared out the apps with a man by his side. Whether or not they commit, though, that will be the question, because they've still got 3 players at the bottom of mid as Liquid, Elige leading the charge, trying to take this fight, and it will net them that opening frag. Breezy goes down. So a man advantage to the CT side, and Liquid not falling back. They're very content with holding these angles and looking for more frags.
Little Man, nice pop flash will give his teammates a little bit of room to work with, as Daps is going to lead the charge. The bomb is here as well. Nitro's going to fall back towards CT. Try to let them cross. He's going to push into sight. Little Man's lining up a smoke. Now, this is their lone smoke. I imagine it's going to be thrown towards CT, although they could go for an interesting front sight smoke and wrap into CT. There's a lot of cool iterations you can do with a single smoke on towards the B site, but it looks like they are going to elect to just casually fall off. Liquid do have a kit and a smoke out on Stanislaw themselves, and they still have numbers towards A. NRG really don't have any idea as to what's going their way, as that's a lane smoke.
See if they can get in on this thanks to the pop flash, but Twist is able to avoid it. Knows that the execution's coming, and it's JDM to drop 2 as Daps gets popped as well. Stan with a headshot to Peter, leaves Fugly on his lonesome, and that's a great pistol round for Liquid.
JDM catches a Ninja doing a little bit of a wall ride, catches the second player, and the third is an easy cleanup for him. So Liquid pick up a pistol, pick up the SMGs, pick up the M4s, and the utility behind it. While NRG, no bomb plant, they're going to be investing fully into here, then the save in the next, unless something crazy happens this round, just like the last round of Cobblestone.
Yeah, I still can't get over that. So many back and forth rounds, but no, Tech 9s. It's enough to seal the deal. Stanislaw gets a bit of a gift as he creeps through the apartments. A shot to the noggin drops him to 63, and he's just going to fall back. I mean, there's no reason for them to lose a life for no trade back, and he was just prying for information.
It's like Daps was trying to push up towards balcony and his P250. Sent packing back to Canada. As NRG are going to slowly work their way up towards mid. Daps is lining up, or was lining up a pop flash for his teammates, but it looks like they're going to elect to just walk out. So they fall silent. To contact, walk towards Arch, as Daps will hold for the re-peek from Porch from Liquid. As JDM just going to be peeking this, waiting for the first player on the corner. He immediately gushed up, Molly, and falls safely back. The flash over, but Breeze has different ideas about this. He's going to try to get towards JDM in sight, but no, JDM holds on with the help of Twist. As NRG going to continue to push lane, Stanislaw may get tagged, but he deals significant damage. They get all on Fugly in a 1v4, gushed up multiple times, and his corpse will lie there cooling.
NRG hoping for a round once they get to guns, but it's Liquid with what seems like some clean conversion. Can never get ahead of ourselves, though. The Glock train can always surprise, although it shouldn't, seeing as there are still these SMGs to play off of. It's not Elige with the MP9, but instead Nitro. JDM getting aggressive to the bottom of middle thanks to these frag grenades, trying to soften up their targets. Daps tagged ever so slightly. And mid already controlled here by Liquid. They've got 3 players just pushed down at this point. Another follow-up frag hoping to deal damage. Little Man gets rocked by that one. Twists able to get the first kill as Stan takes the second, trying to spray wildly for the third. He has to go to the sidearm. Still Daps, the last, is standing. All 5 players for Liquid, fine and dandy.
First Glock. Nada.
Yeah, confident.
Very confident. I love a Glock kill. It always is one way to show your enemy who's boss. Although you won't get much out of it, because you don't get much money for it. It does make you look super baller. As Liquid are not going to upgrade the MP9, nor the 2 UMPs. So they're feeling extremely confident. Look for another push like they did in the previous round. Maybe sending the SMGs down banana, down mid, and the rifle supporting. Or a lot of close-up aggressive angles from Liquid in A-apps, close top banana. As NRG will get the AKs. And they only have 1 Molly remaining, and Mollies on Inferno are super valuable to both sides. And same with nades, as you see why.
Daps just gets carpet bombed there, and Breezy as well was tagged up heavily thanks to Nitro, so Elige is able to clean up that frag. And now JDM hits Peter through the smoke, dropping the bomb. and giving a lot of controls to Liquid already. Again, they didn't upgrade into this round, so they just tried and use that sheer aggression. Off of the grenades, they pick up those 3 frags. Little Man and Fugly, that's all that remains.
They do have a smoke and a molly to work with 1 flash. But against 5 Team Liquid members who have gotten aggressive down banana, have eyes on the bomb, and know what Fugly's up to. Now, the one saving grace NRG and Fugly do have going for them is Little Man right now in his current position. As he's pushed through arches, got himself in behind enemy lines, unspotted and unheard. Now, he is going to fall silent, but Fugly has to keep pressure here, enough to keep their attention while Little Man lurks forward.
Now, the trigger discipline from Little Man, that's what's going to be crucial. Fugly's trying to create a distraction. The Little Man gets spotted, but he still takes 3. He bails his team out of the situation with that quick 3K headshot. And now Fugly can grab that bomb, work to the B bomb site, and the last 2 players from Liquid are just nipping at their heels, forced to come in from the back lines. They're still going to be sitting on full health with utility as well, but this should have been an easy round for Liquid. Little Man catching them with their pants down.
Stanislaw not upgrading his weapon. He's going to stick with the UMP. Good molly towards Dark. It's going to force Fugly forward momentarily. Takes the engagement. Twist wins it. Now it's all on Little Man. Can he ace to get the first round on the board for NRG? He spots the first player jumping, and Stanislaw strikes midair to find the shot. What I find most intriguing about how Little Man was able to weasel his way around there is Liquid had no one spotting mid. They're pushed up into A apps. No one listening for sound cues. Fugly did a good job of keeping enough presence towards Bomb Banana, where Liquid are almost fully committed, thinking both players were around that area. And Little Man did a great job of just making no noise until it was too late for Liquid. And he just puts 3 players in the grave.
That third crosshair placement was really nice. He just kind of flicks back to the man on logs. Again, I mean, Liquid, they think that they've covered their timings properly, but no. They allow Little Man to squeak through. NRG, they would get that bomb plant, but it's still not enough to go for the full buy. So they've got the Kevlar, they've got the pistols, and enough utility to execute forward. What I love about Inferno is that you can generally, as a terrorist team, take control of alt mid. Unless Liquid get aggressive through the balcony or anything like that, you can get to that position. And from there, you can always set smokes into the A site. So Banana's a little bit more contested as you have to throw them from the top of it, whereas alt mid can always be a go-to on utility. We see NRG, as opposed to hitting up the A site, sticking their attention at B. Nitro falls back with the op, and he's able to drop Daps first and foremost. Goes for the re-peek as Elige arrives in the form of reinforcement. But Little Man clearing the site and allowing the plant to shine through.
Little Man will punch in the digits, as I had a slip in my memory. I was talking to myself for a second there, which is never fun. Elige gonna hold towards Coffins. Look at this heads-up play. The op dropped in the corner. That's extremely awkward, as Peter thought he would probably die to the molly, so he throws it back to Breeze. So Peter just is content to sit in towards quad. Teamwork aside, Breeze is kind of in the money spot to lock this down. As Stanislaw finds Peter, so good job to toss the op over to the correct player. As Breezy gets 2 for it, looking for the third, and he will get it. But he immediately gets shut down. Fugly sees Ed 1v2. And Stanislaw gets his own third, but they waste enough time. Liquid, a little slow on that retake.
I was going to say, that took forever.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand the need to let that smoke fade, but even then there was kind of this moment's hesitation once they had that peek in. Peter and Breezy just trying to figure out what to do with the op.
The molly.
What's funny here, too, is that the Molotov actually doesn't spread because it goes to the other side. So Peter would have been fine if he had held on to it, but ultimately Breezy comes up big. Even with a team kill in that situation. He destroys the spine of Little Man.
He did, didn't he? Right.
Yeah. So NRG kind of lucky to walk away with that round, but it's unfortunate for them that they lose every single player in that circumstance because they're going to be bottomed out after this bye. JDM popping the noggin of Peter and allowing for that 5v4 already on the table. Team Liquid in a good spot to hang on. They're just going to fall off of Banana. There's no reason now to aggress on some kind of a fight. You just set up within the sites and wait for them to come to you.
Now, an old thing on Inferno that just popped back into my mind, what you used to be able to do safely is, Banana control has always been heavily contested. Now what you used to be able to do on old Inferno is throw a smoke from your spawn to bloom top Banana, which kind of alleviates the pressure of the CTs peeking you. Yes, they'll still get nades thrown your way, but it alleviates the pressure of someone pushing deep on the back of their own deep smoke. Now, I'm interested to see that it's not really implemented yet on this in Inferno, if you will.
That was a cool pop flash there from Nitro.
That was actually pretty sick.
Off the corner of the building, pops right in front of Coffins. Could be spotted, but at the same time, it's a very slight spotting at that. So
There's another cool one you can do from his positioning. There's like an air conditioner on the roof. Throw it on there, pops right in front of coffins too. Gotta love pop flashes. Nitro. Playing it really safe though. Knowing he has a leash on second oranges to hold the front, like a front of first oranges, he can just allow to bait and use his utility and just funnel him into a leash, although he won't get anything for it. Nitro has to fall back and wait for rotations. There's no one really close to him. One player in CT, they're not even fully rotated towards this Liquid. I think this might just be an immediate save call, actually.
Yeah, saving is always so important on Inferno, right? Because it's difficult to retake the B bomb site. So if you lose it convincingly and early on, you still have utility and guns to play with the remaining players. Just go for the save. You've lost the round at this point. You can try to hammer it home, but it'll be more important to think of the future.
It's always good to look to the future.
Invest in the future. It's important.
Invest into ourselves, especially me.
Sure.
Thank you.
Op picked up by Fugly, so that's going to be icing on the cake. Peter, having gotten destroyed at the beginning of that round, his op will actually be grandfathered forward. So,
4 players alive for NRG. Can't get better.
Nope.
Put in an awkward spot where they could have been reset, keeping 4 alive. Drop Peter the op. Fugly and just rebuy an AK himself. They'll get utility Liquid. Will buy up. They have cash. And more importantly, they kept 3 members alive, including the op and JDM. So we'll see where JDM's going to head. Peter with his op, he has the spawn. And I imagine he's just going to hold the cross in mid. That used to be a jump you'd have to make on hay bales. Now you can just take the stairs. And no one is going to cross mid from Team Liquid. Playing it a little more reserved so far from what we've seen from the European teams. Especially, well, MVS and G2 to be more precise. Very, very risky when it comes to their peaks. But the reward is always there for them.
that boost just now putting JDM over the smoke is very similar to the one that we saw towards half wall earlier today in the EU tourney, or games rather. And that's a really safe way to get the boost and then just kind of scuffle your way into the opening. Intelligent, right? Because the moment that you're most vulnerable is while you're in that jump, so completely negates that moment. Still, no kills here in the 7th round. Team Liquid holding on to that 2-point lead as they go for the bottom of banana control. It's going to allow for Leash to peek out wide, but Breezy lies in wait. Shuts it down at the source. Little man creeping forward on middle, gets flashed, so he falls back, not wanting to expend his life. Smoke grenade towards Arch blocks off those 2 players, leaving Twists a little isolated, but still in a good position. He's going to be able to fall back to Pit if he so chooses, and instead he actually gets aggressive, so he's prying and prodding for some kind of info, maybe even a kill.
His teammates are going with him, so Little Man finds Twist. Stanislav's going to swing in this. He can only get 1 frag. Fugly and Little Man will shut down 2 players towards A. JDM is still here towards Arch, but now they have a 2-man deficit. It's almost a lot to ask for Liquid to go for this retake. It could be another save call here. In all reality, with Nitro shutting down the B-site player, he'll get an AK. And if JDM doesn't get a pick soon, I think that's just going to be fault. JDM's already dead. I blinked. In my defense, I did blink. And I did see Nitro find the B player. So Nitro is going to try to pick up the op, if not find some exits, as I'm slowly losing my mind. I blame this peach tea.
Now, there's actually a window of opportunity here for Nitro. That player creeps through library out through CT spawn. We still have Fugly allocated to the site, but, I mean, Nitro's playing with time at this point. He still has the defuse kit. He's not going to opt to go for it. Spots the man at bottom mid. Nice trigger discipline.
Nice.
Quick execution. Molotov to try and block anybody still inside of short. But both these players from NRG still survive. So Liquid going to forfeit up another round here as NRG get ever the closer. 1 round now the difference. And the money in the favor of the offense.
Which is always nice as a terrace. It's harder to build the bank as a CT, so when that starts to crumble and fall apart on a map like Inferno, the Ts are very content with the way the money is leaning. Another full buy just like in the previous. This time Liquid will save the op on JDM. Nitro will go into his UMP. And just upgraded pistols on Stanislaw, Twist, and Leaders. They don't want to invest over an upgraded pistol. And that's not going to be the case. They're just going to, or that is the case, excuse me. As they'll just get the upgraded pistols, early deep smoke from Liquid. Going to allow them to aggress down Banana if they so wish. And it's not even like NRG are too worried about giving up Banana. I think they have a pretty good idea of what Liquid have going into this round.
These are the kinds of rounds where it's so easy to just write off a team like Liquid based on their buy. But if you remember the final round of Cobblestone, well, lesson learned. And I think NRG, NRG are also kind of hesitant with their play here, right? Like they don't go straight into the top of Banana. They don't want to get carpet bombed. They don't want to have to clear out these tight corners with pistols in their faces. So They slow things down as we hit the minute mark. Still a 4-man stack over towards the A site from Liquid, leaving 1 man alone on B. Of course, that 1 man is JDM with the op, so if he's able to pick a couple players on the entry, then maybe the rotate gets there in time. Maybe they'll be able to bolster the defense and shine through with the retake, but the odds are slim.
Not much being shown by NRG, but not much aggression from Liquid either with these pistols. They pretty much have no information. They've stuck 3 players on site on A and 1 player in pit, so they have 0 information. Full trust in JDM to have this unlock, because he's going to jump up on Coffins to look over the smoke. And I think his position was being held, waiting for someone to do that exact play, as JDM will just hide behind the smoke. And Liquid are going to go for the 4-man flank. The bomb banana, but there's the bomb. So the bomb is actually there as they get B site. They sent 1 player in, and now it gets hairy for NRG as Daps tries to bring it back. Peter going to try to pick up the bomb. 8 seconds, that's it. That's the round.
Incredible stuff here. I mean, Daps can pick up the bomb all he wants. He can try to make it to the site, but the time plays against him. Incredible. Liquid. I mean, I said it. Don't write him off. Look what happens. Time.
Yeah, but NRG shot themselves there.
Yeah, I mean, they have that entry over towards the B site. They're able to force back JDM. That's one of those situations where they didn't give themselves enough time to execute to the site and account for any sudden losses, right? They know they're versus some kind of a weaker buy. They just assume they're going to be able to stampede through. And the moment that bomb hits the dirt, even despite the trade frags from NRG, there's just no time.
And they got super unlucky, NRG. But that's what happens when you don't work a proper default and gain information when you know your team. Ooh. Okay, Peter, gonna find JDM. When you know the other team's on a strong buy, they ran right into a 4-man stack who were pushing out porch side and just mowed those players down. So 5-3. JDM's gone and out. This is the way we were talking about with G2 Envious.
Really cool
it hides your initial head peeking up while you jump. I think that's the point you made earlier. And then it allows you to peek over cleanly at a safe level. That's Twist. We'll trade 1 for 1. Almost not enough for Liquid at this point, as there's still a man down. But he's going to be hunting for some more as he pushes towards porch. And may catch these 2 NRG players. No, they'll get around the corner and get towards lane. So Twist needs some help.
This is another situation where they left the bomb behind. So now it's going to be Breezy coming up. And as he comes up behind, he almost gets dropped. Had Twist found the bomb, this is another round that Liquid can easily just burn away the time. Fortunately for NRG, they're able to get to the site. Alish taking 1 as Peter finds a 3rd. No, 4th.
That's one more than a 3rd.
Yep. Excellent. Excellent stuff from Peter. I mean, that first shot through the smoke, then he picks it up into the apartments as well, those up-close peaks. Kind of a nice bounce back from NRG because you know that the round before is incredibly frustrating. Those are the kinds of rounds that you can just very easily, get tilted over, and that's where you start to let things slip, but...
5 from Liquid.
Yeah.
Lone M4, 1 from Moss, pistols, MP9 Unleash. I think he's one of the better MP9 players I think I've seen in a while. Now, that gun's not easy to use. Not only does it shoot marshmallows, but the spray is a little crazy on it. As he'll get 2 openers with it, of course he will. Breezy and Daps gonna hit that cobble there towards top banana. And a bit of a quick play from NRG to try to fight towards top banana control, but it's another round where I feel like they're pushing the envelope again. Kind of like Liquid started to do on Cobblestone on their T side, where they started just pushing.
I wish I had a better memory so that I could remember just how many kills Alish has gotten with an MP9 across these maps.
Too many.
On full bot opponents, right? Like, I'm not just talking anti-eco here. He's just getting straight up kills versus it. And that's not like a UMP where, the problem is, or one of the problems is that it's effective at range.
Yep.
This is him applying proper positioning to his weapon choice and still picking up these frags. It's quite impressive to watch. Nitro gonna hold the site if he can. Able to get 1 fully blind, but here's Alish with another 2. A 4K in the round off of an MP9 and a free upgrade to the op. That's just pure economic advantage.
And that thing doesn't have good armor pen either.
No.
I think the MP7s might be better in that regard.
Yep.
So it's disgusting how well he's good with it. I guess the rate of fire kind of compensates for it, but it's almost at the same time where it's underused due to it being poor, but Alish is starting to change that. It's kind of like the same idea with ESG getting used.
I mean, I think certain people would make the argument that it's underused because the ump is just better.
That's probably a fair argument.
So if the ump is, nerfed again with, say, some kind of an economic aspect, not just the range drop-off, then maybe that we do see the MP9
and Alish is set then.
Yeah. Maybe he's just ahead of the game, right?
Yep. Making metas, breaking hearts.
He's one of those guys who will play with the meta, but
This time the T side come peeking out of Balk. JDM and Stan combined for 2. Breezy Little Man swinging it back. Bomb shall be planted. Team Liquid, 3 players coming in for the retake. They still have so much utility to go for this, as well as kits. Some nades for NRG to play off of, and they have that op on Breezy. AK and Ump. Smoke grenade goes wide. Fugly creeping in from Boiler, spots the barrel, able to drop Nitro as Elige swings it back. Now this is going to be Breezy pinned in pit where he's able to drop Elige, and Stan also taken down. NRG and Liquid trading back rounds. That's 4 consecutive, I believe, where it's just back and forth CS, which always makes for an exciting matchup, as we are just at that 1 round difference.
And what's also makes back and forth CS even more exciting is it makes the T's happy. Whenever you can have this kind of, especially in a map where the CT side is so strong, whenever there's back and forth CS, the T's have to be smiling ear to ear because it helps their economy, it helps them put rounds on the board, and it keeps the CTs pretty much honest when it comes to what they want to do across the map. It's a nice deep smoke, though. It's almost underused when it comes to CT sides. I'd like to see that smoke thrown every single time, solely just because it's the same idea as a top mid smoke and Mirage. I've made that reference a lot, but it keeps the T's either A, going through it, or stuck behind it, and that's less engagement towards top banana, which normally don't work out for CTs too often.
Ooh, Twists up close with the CZ. Hail of gunfire. Smashes Fugly in the face.
Later.
Twist gets tagged in that engagement, however, so it's not a freebie per se. Daps assuming the place of his dead comrade, creeping up through apps as the bomb makes its way this direction as well. We still have Breezy towards the bottom of mid, just watching towards Banana, trying to keep Liquid honest and not allowing them to go to that fast flank. As long as he keeps an eye towards Banana as well, NRG can always shift back towards the B site as long as time permits it. They have hit that 40-second mark, and there's 4 players here for Liquid stacking on the A site, 2 of which inside of pit. 1 lit. Stanislaw removed. Liquid JDM. Coming out from the wide swing, does a lot of damage here, but he's not able to take the frag as Breezy and Daps just demolish the A site, and it leaves Nitro to clutch.
Yeah, good dissection there from NRG to slowly take it. They spot 1 player in pit, neutralize him, player comes out balcony, and they all get a frag, actually. So they're just, Fugly is the only one to not get a frag in this round, as everyone on his team will have 1 more frag over him. As Nitro's going to look for an exit, maybe try to get to Fugly's dead body in pit. Perhaps wait for the bomb to explode and take a little bit of a jaunt. Or jog, if you will. But he does get spotted down 43. Cleans up Breezy. And he's taking that AK and he's going to go home. He's going to go try to save it. And that would be pretty big for them considering they are on 2-run loss, 1900. And another save on round 13. So it's been a lot of broken economies lately. But the T's, as I said, normally come out on top of that just due to them getting bomb plants still and winning rounds with 3 to more players alive, even when it's back and forth.
Yeah, finally Liquid with not enough money to go for this purchase, so NRG tie things up at 6 apiece and have a very real opportunity with this anti-eco, but they need to make sure they convert it, right? These are the kinds of rounds that you can't afford to lose, that you have no excuse to lose. And we saw it happen on Cobblestone, right? These are the types of rounds where the best teams in the world will never lose them. They do not make these mistakes, while teams like NRG, who are still of the lower echelon, who are still within their growing phase, sometimes drop these rounds.
That's a smoke.
Yeah, a little off the mark. Too meta for me.
We're seeing a lot of meta things.
Going for the boost, though. Trying it. Ooh, splash bang allows for the T side to clear out Banana. Then they're just going to transition into the execution. The smoke covering the cross as there's a rotation coming in. Team Liquid cannot stop this Congo train.
Tonight it looks like Fugly's going to shut down Stanislaw. And Fugly's just doing a nice job. It's just keeping presence towards mid. They even have someone as far as alt, just to ensure that no one from Liquid is going to go for a cheeky push elsewhere. They just have it on absolute lockdown. As Twist and JDM going to try to get some exit frags here, hoping someone from NRG or a brigade of members from NRG start the push into CT, and they can make out like some bandits, as they will hit the $2,400 mark, which should solidify a buy if they choose. It'll be something for them to use instead of pistols. So.
Twist standing on the lattice work.
I like it.
Flawless round from NRG, so I mean, James mentioned this right before the game, how in the North American region, we see a lot more terrorist rounds being put on the board on Inferno. So CT sides sometimes struggle, and NRG have been doing a really good job of keeping Liquid on their toes, right? They're executing into bomb sites with certainty, with numbers advantage, and also nice executions off of the utilities. So NRG doing a good job. Take that 1-point lead and keep things competitive as Liquid force the buy with 2 SMGs included. It's JDM with an MP9. We've seen Nitro pick it up. We've seen it in the hands of Elige. This seems to be a Liquid thing, at least here tonight.
And another thing NRG have done super well, besides keeping the CT economy in check, well, it's part of that. They keep the CT economy in check, which means JDM can have little or no pressure on the CT side with it off. We haven't seen it too often on the CT side. NRG have done a good job, and Peter making sure he has his ops. So that's something NRG have going for them. As Little Man slowly pushes up to the edge of the smoke. And he will deal damage through it, and that molly towards Sandbags. Nitro's burning. He has to run through and get across the corner. So NRG will successfully A, deal damage, and B, force that player out from Sandbags to gain upper banana control. And now the round's looking firmly in NRG's hands, and it's really up to them how they want to mold it.
Damage dealt on both sides of the spectrum, though, so lives on the line. Again, we see the T side gearing up for this B site hit. That Molotov's going to get extinguished, and it's Elige up close. He spots the man creeping through here, trying to find the target, but down to 6 rounds. Daps with a headshot onto Twists. And now we see the T side gearing up for A. Breezy continues to make this fake look real. And it's JDM tucked away in the corner with that SMG. He can't find that frag. The ump would have. Fugly with the AK. Gonna clear him out as Breezy continues towards B. Stanislaw pinned in spawn. Both directions have been taken by NRG as the bomb's now planted. He can't even fight his way out. As an NRG, again with a clean sweep, keep all 5 alive and extend their lead to 2.
Very similar round, and actually almost identical to that round where Liquid won it with the just pistol buy. When time became an issue for NRG, what did they do? They sent one guy into B, caused havoc, pulled a rotation, and the rest of NRG ran up towards porch side. This time, Liquid will just get absolutely stomped, as they didn't get, this time they didn't get the luck of pushing in towards mid and catching these players as they came back into A. So great fake from NRG, and this time the change from NRG was going out a balcony more heavily than just out mid.
So the final round of the first half is upon us, and it's got guns for the most part. Still 2 pistols on Nitro and Stan, but at least utility on the CT side, so they're going to be able to play responsive to any kind of execution from NRG. NRG making a nice work of this T half, gonna maybe walk away with a 3-point victory. Peter still has that one up, as you mentioned, always in play for him, and impactful at that. I like that he stays in the middle of the pack with his opping, right? He's not one of these guys who's at the forefront, but he's always just peering over the shoulders of his teammates. And it allows for some nice, consistent trade fragging, and just that little bit of structure that NRG benefit from. But NRG have expended quite a bit of utility without taking much for map control. They still have the top of Banana, they're still within apps, and it's just Liquid splitting themselves into 2 separate kernels, 3 on A and 2 at here on B.
Of course, the MP9 and UMPs are in play. The final round, as Fugly's going to get sent towards top mid. And he's kind of the man to anchor down the opposite side of the maps wherever NRG wish to go. So Fugly will be sent to mid, not only to cause havoc and pull a rotation like Elige is now, but if they do want to fall back, Fugly's there, and if they don't, he's cutting rotation. So he serves a dual purpose in his position as the smokes come raining in with flashes. Nitro's calling for rotations to come back, but they have already rotated so far, even with Stanislaw finding Fugly and getting a rifle. NRG are looking to push in, but that's actually the site smokes to wrap into CT for free, and Nitro plays off of it beautifully, as Peter through the smoke will find him. But it's starting to fall apart for NRG as rotations come through for Liquid.
Yeah, we got a 2 versus 2 on the table with Peter still holding Banana. Little Man to the back of the site itself, and Liquid gonna double down by pushing through this church. They still have the flashbang on Twists to try to section this off, but Little Man's gotta keep them at bay. Time continuing to tick as there's not a single kit currently on them. CT's into the fountain, and it's simultaneous frags for NRG. Cleaning it up with that 3-point lead. 4 of these 6 rounds from Liquid at that 4-0 start. NRG just turn it on its head and leave us with a convincing half.
Now that's something you don't see too often is, it used to be played used a whole bunch in the old Inferno where the wall smokes front sight and it gives you free wrap in towards CT spawn. Now that CT spawn's a bit more pushed back, it's a bit more lax and you can chill out is, again, it's Little Man again. It seems to be his consistency to put up numbers is really what's allowing NRG to keep this momentum going.
I mean, even on Cobblestone, we see him in all 5 slots for the scoreboard. But in this sense, it's actually with a winning half, not just 4 rounds. Little Man, again, gonna find a kill here in the pistol, but at this point, his team's been lost. Breezy and Little Man still coming in from the flank. They're gonna drop the bomb, so it could be doable here from Little Man. He's gotten 2 frags already, 2 more on the table,
Wow.
but Alige, he's had enough. Liquid with, again, the pistol that they wanted.
No matter how well Little Man is playing, and he could be the best player in the world, when there's just numbers peering at you and they're all peeking you at once, you can only ask so much from a player. As now they're going to be the ones who have to pick up upgraded pistols. And you mentioned it earlier about what James said, where for some reason NA thrive on the T side of Inferno. It's just the defaults they're really good at, the executions. And maybe it's just a lack of preparedness on the CT side when it comes to rotations. But it seems like the T side of Inferno, when it comes to NA teams, seem to be just super, super strong.
Here's the opening frag from Alige. Thanks to the AK, Daps gets splattered. Twists trying to lead the charge off of the Yump. 3 of which in play here for Liquid. He's just going to start to clear out the corners, and it's Peter who's given a back shot here. Nitro up close, trying to jump in as Peter retreats. Looks back with a pistol, but he flicks for no reason there. A little spooked is Pete. Breezy with a CZ. All that remains here for NRG.
And some easies.
Maybe not.
Maybe not. I don't know. It depends. There's a lot of guys out there like them shoes.
He has fancy gloves. Maybe not the shoes, though.
Yeah, that's true. That's what's next. Custom shoelaces. There's Breezy. Waiting for someone to push down Arch. Twist is going to run out of library, and Breezy hears this and take the engagement. CZ gushes him up, finds the frag. Gets caught crossing from JDM. So Liquid are now within 1 round. NRG, we'll see what they can really afford to put in this round.
Yeah, sometimes on the second round, depending on how many kills you get, you'll see those players go for the carpet bomb down mid and banana. I mean, that's such a vintage Inferno CT eco play. But not this time around. Vanilla pistols across the board. There's a carpet bomb from Liquid, so preemptively trying to counter a stack, but there's no aggression from NRG down banana. They're just going to anchor Peter to the site itself. All those silenced pistol arrows towards A. Daps already starting to rotate back over, and Liquid again with such a massive advantage in this round should easily convert it. We saw them do it in the first half, and still NRG turn it on its head. So let's not get ahead of ourselves and wait for those gun rounds to shine through. We just got to get to the interesting stuff.
The main course.
Yeah, we got to cut the fat. Twists trying to lead the charge, jumping wildly up and over, trying to spot CTs, none of which have been found. He's going to get himself towards the site again, just trying to offset the crosshair. That's something you see so frequently with SMG play, the advantage of the mobility, right? Stanislaw and Nitro with 2. Nitro locking down mid, preventing the flank from NRG, but he will drop to the USP of Fugly.
And that's an AK picked up. Now, I wonder how hard Liquid are willing to hunt this down. I imagine they'll send the SMGs kind of on like a free goodwill kind of hunt. They desperately want to take this AK out of Breezy's hands. They don't want to allow him to carry this over. So look for Stanislaw, Twist, and JDM to try to hunt him down, while Alige will chill and maybe do a little hunting himself, but not as dangerously or on the edge. But as I say that, Alige is the man to get himself into where they apps. And Stanislaw will fall. Alige gets caught, so all of a sudden, NRG have dealt significant damage. Now, the only way to bring this back for Liquid in an economy standpoint is for Twist and JDM to get both AKs. And I don't think that's doable right now with their position.
They can grab the door here. JDM will get it, but yeah, Twist with the MAC-10, so a lot of investment there lost by Liquid. Luckily, because of all the money they've made, I mean, you've got all 5 players above 5,000 pre-buy, 2 of which on 6 to 7K. I mean, JDM's going to hang on to that 7.3 thousand, doesn't buy the op just yet, and they're actually going to hang on to the MAC-10. Again, I'm a big critic of this.
You are.
But we'll see if he can justify the buy. Because he has full nades, so as long as he gets the nades away and then just sacrifices his life, then sure, you're using it in the proper sense, but it's a bit of a gamble. Especially when you have $7.3 thousand. Even if he doesn't want to get the op, get an ump. It's 1,200 bucks. Still a viable weapon. NRG with a buy of their own, 2 kits. Enough nades, but not the full set on everyone.
Twist is slowly going to work his way up, spam some walls. The nice spam ability of apps. Little Man under porch, waiting for them to come through. There's a crossfire here. And Breezy has got 2, and Breezy's got his second. He'll immediately get shut down as Nitro gets the spray onto these players. As Twist, the backstab as he falls out towards balcony. And he too is going to get tagged through the smoke. Just bullets flying all over the place for both teams. has got Twist in just an awkward situation where he's down to 19, or down to 13, excuse me, and has no smoke, just a nade and a molly. And he's desperately going to be hunting for this 1v1. I think he's going to stick this plant as soon as he realizes no one is in CT and push for a 1v1. It's kind of his only play here.
Yeah, it's so low health right now. Utility also low as he just burns off Banana. Peter and Fugly realizing that it is the B site indeed. So I like that Twist tries to take a forward position. He's really going to have to isolate 2 fights and hit shots most importantly. If he's able to execute Peter first, then suddenly a 1v1. Fugly rounds the corner, and he's going to find that trade. A lot of kills happening there to the top of mid. So many dead bodies just scattering the ground. Like a house of 1,000 corpses.
Is that a book reference?
It's a movie.
Good movie?
Yep.
Okay. Nice. Well, at least Liquid have money going their way with the bomb plant. They got some moolah behind themselves still to transition this bite and kind of push it forward. So the AKs come out. We may see an op on JDM. That's something he can invest into. He did have the MAC 10. So it is just they're gonna keep rocking out with the AKs. Not feeling the T side op quite yet. As they're gonna get a deep molly down towards the Banana. Peter's gonna take this peek. No one is gonna be there, or no one's gonna be home yet from Team Liquid. As NRG will follow it up with a deep banana smoke, which I love so dearly.
You're a big fan of that.
I love it.
I mean, it makes sense, right? Like, I understand that, like, the downside of it could arguably be the early utility expenditure, especially with Banana. Even if the terrorists take the top of Banana, they still have that choke point of the execution, right? And sometimes smoking that off can be even more useful. But what this does create is the ability for Peter to now post up on the angle. So unless they flash him out like this, it's a very good chance he gets a pick there. But he misses the shot, he has to fall back, and now they use that second smoke. The T side not going to shy away from pushing forward, however. They know that they've peeked him back. There's no way Peter has the confidence to stick around with so many terrorists inbound.
That's still 40-ish seconds off the clock for one smoke, though.
Absolutely.
So it's a smoke that keeps presence, and now Liquid have to think, well, we have to use utility to get through this now as it dissipates, because what if someone's pushed up? So I like it. It's kind of just a default smoke that I'd like to see thrown more often. Maybe try to find a lineup from the B site. That way you don't even have to face when you throw it. Or you just keep putting your opper there and throw the smoke for him from sight. As it is going to be smokes thrown out from Liquid. And Molly's behind it in towards the site. Peter has to make an executive decision here. Because he pushed through the smoke, through coffins, and go for the opener. As his teammate wants to push through that CT smoke. So no one's in sight for NRG. And interesting enough, no one's rotating yet. They were unsure if this was a commitment for Liquid. And now they are pretty dead sure that this is going to be the case. As Twist going to plant this bomb with 9 seconds remaining. And now it's a rare 5v5 retake.
Yeah, the old 10-man bomb plant.
Oh, through the wall.
Always a good time. Nice wallbang there. You're absolutely right. JDM just squeaked down to 46 as Daps tries to hold the angle. The T-side trying to fight forward, and Peter saves the second. Nitro going to be able to swing it back with 1, but Fugly as well responding here for NRG. Nitro still from the coffins finding success, but Peter and Little clear it out, and that's a round for NRG, taking that 2-point lead and keeping Liquid on the back foot.
Little man just held the bomb till 5 seconds, then got off and let the kit defuse. I don't know if that triggers me or it triggers me.
Who defuses it? Was it Peter? Yep.
Yeah.
It's always intelligent to let the opper defuse the bomb, because he's the guy who always needs to invest. So,
all right.
There's an argument to be made there.
Okay.
Devil's in the details.
You're just playing devil's advocate now. It's okay. 11-9. Team Liquid with the bomb planted, though. They're just going to save up some cash. They'll go for the typical pistols, the typical smoke. That's 2 rounds in a row, so 2-round loss, plus a bomb plant in each. JDM's still rich, so I'm interested to see if the op finally will come out for JDM next round. There's been like little to no pick potential for Liquid here, but it's not even like Liquid or NRG are showing too much. Just pretty much Peter peeking towards Banana.
Yeah, that's really the most aggressive we've really seen. When Liquid are on their CT side, we got to see JDM going for those op boosts, right? So the engagement on the aggressive ops was there for Liquid, but not really the case on NRG. They've just been falling into the bomb sites, holding the line incredibly well, and really asserting their dominance on the sites. So we'll see if they can do that yet once more as Liquid starting to take control of Archway. Peter's here, peeks it first and foremost to take the first and legs number 2. That's Elige falling away with 37 health as Peter executes him from behind. Not today, Elige. You do not escape death, my friend. 5v3 still for NRG. Peter just going ham off the sidearms. Daps as well with the ump finds one. JDM, all that's left here for Liquid, trying to fight his way into the bomb site, dealing damage, but overwhelmed is he. And NRG now lead by 3.
They're up to 12. And this is the moment. Is my question going to be answered? Is JDM going the up? And there we see it. I'm not saying I'm a genius, but I'm not a genius. As Liquid will buy up around it, utility, and JDM, we'll see which way he's going to head with his op. So it's the first time I think on the T side we've seen it. I'm excited to see how he implements it, and he's immediately going to go try to contest this peak that NRG have been going for pretty steadily. And this time Fugly gets completely punished for it. As the push down mid from NRG, that's a mix-up. That's a change in NRG's game plan, and Stanislaw is going to show you why you always want to make sure that your avenues are clear before you go for something like that.
2 players tagged out for Liquid. Not that it's going to matter with only 2 guys standing on NRG. Fugly as well, incredibly lit. So this could be an actual round that Liquid get to put on the board. Keeping this game close, putting us both on double digits, making NRG work for the win.
Their save. Okay. I dig this call. I mean, even if you have enough money for the next round buy, this is a gun you can drop to Daps, and this is a gun Fugly can throw over. Or Daps can drop a gun, Fugly can drop a gun, and as I say that, I don't know about that peak.
Why?
That's true.
Look how committed Fugly is to his save.
That peak is a little, how do you say it? Maybe going for some dessert.
Dumb.
Yeah. Well, that's a word you could say.
Especially when Daps is the guy who has no money.
Yeah,
so, like,
that's why I was confused when I looked at Tab. I'm like, oh, he can drop. Okay, no, he can drop. He can hold on to that.
It's convenient. He throws his life away. Now he gets to be bought. So that's just a burden.
No, he has to get a gun thrown to himself. Yeah.
Put on someone else's shoulder.
Still a strong buy, but it's like, that's more money. That's utility you can have out, right? It's a bit more. It wouldn't have made a big difference in the whole round of itself, but, you know, here we are. 12-10. Liquid are going to go for an aggressive peek up towards mid, and JDM's going to lead the charge and try to find a pick towards either arc side or right side. Just waiting for the smoke from NRG to start to dissipate. It did just get deployed, so it's going to be a bit before he can find the frag he was looking for as Elige pushing towards balcony. And NRG, I put a lot of attention towards porch side. I don't think one man's boosted. He could be underneath, so he is underneath. So they have a crossfire with the player arch and underneath, and it is just going to be a slaughter. Stanislaw gets 2. Daps burns JDM. As Daps has to get a reload, and through the smoke he will go. Stanislaw and Daps doing a little bit of a dance, as he will get gushed, but Stanislaw on 2 HP. That's his 3rd.
Fugly now going around that corner. He knows this man is lit. He spots him out and takes him down. Another headshot found. Fugly swapping to the AK now as a 2-on-2 ensues. Peter with the op. Both players with a kit and a frag as well for Fugly. Pop flash out from Nitro is going to allow for the peak if Twists were to so choose, but the Molotov starting to burn at his feet. He needs to get out of here, down to 1 HP. He somehow survives, as do both players from NRG. Bomb ticking quickly now as Liquid set the cross, and there you have it. NRG trying to retreat, falling away to save those 2 guns, and Twists probably going to die, leaving NRG on 12, but Liquid 1 round down.
And it makes you think, if Twist burns instead of living on 1 HP there, do they fully commit?
Absolutely, they commit.
So that's a 2-on-1 isolated to the player on site that they know is there. So Twist living there is the saving grace, pretty much. And they've built up such a bank that Elige feels comfortable to go for a MAC-10, although he could have dropped a rifle. I think he's banking energy, maybe going for some kind of interesting buy here. I mean, it is interesting. It is a double op.
We'll see what comes of Elige's play.
Yeah.
I mean, again, it's like you can be such a critic of these kinds of buys, but then with these players being so good at this game, they'll just manage to just whip it around and get a 3K, right? Like watch Elige just go ham out of that porch. I mean, at least he's getting flashed in here for the entry. Clears out short first and foremost and continues to lead the charge. He's going to finish off Breezy thanks to the help from Twists. And now a 4 versus 3 with the bomb certainly planted. And again, NRG, immediate save. I like these kinds of calls on Inferno.
Very decisive.
Because it's so difficult to punch your way back into sites, especially considering that double op setup. So now Liquid, although they're not playing versus the save from NRG, that MAC-10 is used in the sense that Liquid just bombard the A site. They use Elige to try and pop things open, and he takes that 1 first kill. It's all thanks to the pop flash from alt mid as well. And so he plays it to its strength, which is the way you can justify it, in my opinion.
And what I also like about from NRG, not only the immediate save call, it's the decisiveness which NACS sometimes lacks, but a decisive call from your IGL that gets immediately answered and immediately put in play. So I am assuming Daps called that save immediately, and then just no hesitation. They all fell back and save. Because if Daps doesn't call the save right away and is letting them work it out, next thing you know, Nop goes down, and then they can't go ahead and retrieve it. So the immediate decisive call from NRG will keep the double ops in play out on Daps and Peter. Liquid will get the full buy, the full arsenal of AKs, and the op back out, as NRG's buy will consist of the good old UMPs and an M4 and still the double ops thanks to the save.
When you have that double op set up on Inferno CT side, you generally see a lot of aggro peaks, but that's not what they're going for. If you're able to knock a player down before they get to the bomb sites, then that double op setup pays off, right? We think of earlier today with Nico and Alu.
Crazy.
It was constant peeking through mid and banana because they have the confidence to go for that, whereas NRG are clearly intimidated by the abilities of Liquid. So the double op setup is yet to find a pick, and at this point now Liquid spread themselves all across the map. Peter's going to try for a bit of a gimmick here with the wall bang, but he almost fetches Stan. Dropped to 47 health there on the retreat, so it pays off. Great heads-up play as we hit the minute mark in round 25.
Stands down, just going to throw a smoke in response, and the UMPs are getting aggressive from NRG. Something I like to see, where nothing goes your way early, you can't get the opening pick, send the SMGs on a bit of a scavenging shots info kind of deal. And they will deal damage, pick up the AK, as the UMPs will net themselves not only a frag, but enough info to know they damaged another player, and they spotted him as well. So they have a good idea what Liquid are up to, as Liquid fall off their top. Banana control NRG now really don't have to over-rotate. They can stick to their guns and let Liquid make presence elsewhere, and then they'll adapt to that.
Still just holding the line at this point, 24 seconds. So this is a situation that NRG found themselves in their T side, when you have very little time to go clear that bomb site.
15.
All NRG have to do is just shut down any kind of an initial push. I mean, there's 10 seconds left. They're not going to be able to afford any wiggle room at this point. 9 seconds still, and they're not on the bomb site, so they just go for the immediate save. They don't even try to fight Daps, who's just shooting in a gallery of targets at that point. Liquid, I don't know what that was.
I think they're banking on if we get out of here and don't get shot and don't get spotted, we'll just brawl out on the site. The planner will have to stick the plant. We'll try to cover them from killing the players in pit, going for the players in sight. But none of that actually went their way, especially with Daps holding the angle. And he'll just shut it down, gets one, gets a second, and Liquid just bail out of there. And they'll again go for the AKs, as they have built up a nice little piggy bank behind themselves. NRG, well, very similar buy to the previous round. Nothing to really say about these buys, as they are very comparable to the previous round. But that's a nice peek from JDM, something you like to see. Normally NRG, they like smoking off mid right at the beginning. But this time Daps tries to switch it up and go for an early pick, although he's been playing very passive towards Arc's side. It's a nice switch up to see from NRG at least. But this time JDM will best him.
Breezy still playing it cool inside of the apartments, keeping an eye on any kind of a push from Liquid. But Liquid right now are very much emphasizing mid control. I mean, we've seen the smokes on each side. Elige is going to boost the man up and over. So JDM from this spot can get work done, but Breezy snubs it out. He's going to use his smoke to block off the Balk. Molotov to stop the push. And Liquid hitting a bit of a wall in this A-side execution. They've gambled as all 4 players are here. All the eggs in one basket as Elige is able to trade it back. Peter does the same. Breezy and Fugly combine for 2, and that's NRG across the kill feed, now sitting on 14.
14 is the number. We'll see how much Liquid want to invest here, because the question is from Liquid. We have 5,400 on Stan, 3,200 on Elige, 3,350 on JDM. 3,600 Nitro. The question is, what do you really want to invest? Do you pick up the op on Stan, throw it over to JDM? Has that had enough impact to really justify that buy and allow him to get the opener? Do you go into these SMGs and go for a quick play? Or do you half buy and play for OT considering you're on 12? There's a lot of things right now that Liquid have to consider. And another thing to consider is what's NRG's economy looking like right now? Do they have enough to buy next round? Do we break them here? And I think Liquid have a good idea that NRG definitely have built up a bank that's good for a couple rounds. At least one more round on top of this.
I'd say just go for the half buy. Get your Kevlar, get your Tech 9s.
That's
still enough to, I mean, enough to win games, as they did it on Cobble.
Disgustingly.
Yes. So we'll see if this will be enough, as it's just the 5 Tech 9s. And a whole bunch of nades here to play off of. Liquid Gonna opt to go for guns in the next, and possibly let overtime be secured by NRG. The carpet bomb to the bottom of Banana. Coming up a little short-handed there. Nitro tags slightly, Elige slightly more, neither of which significantly.
As that smoke starts to fade, look for Liquid to get ready to go through it. And they will, and they'll throw the little bit of utility they have bought into this round. Fugly forced back into Chapel, but he hears them coming his way, and they're going to try to push through the CT smoke. And Fugly gets 2 before he falls, as Peter falls back to save his teammate. Can't end up finding the save, but he will find the frags. As Stanislaw looking to pick up the mantle as the bomb's back there too. So Team Liquid push through on smoke, leave the bomb all by its lonesome, and they will try to retrieve it, but to their demise. NRG will get 15. And Liquid will get a buy here. It may include an op again if it gets tossed over a glass cannon on JDM. And I don't know if it's really worth it at this point. He hasn't had it too many times, so they are going to toss it over. So I like this actually a lot from Liquid in this point.
Yeah, last time GDM has the op, we see him win that duel from alt mid, get the kill towards Daps. And while they weren't able to execute forward into the A site, at least he had that first bit of momentum rolling. Peter gets aggressive and it pays off. Elige swept under the rug here as NRG secure the 5v4.
Stanislaw thinking about going down towards Boiler. He meets up with his teammate Twist. But will deal some damage onto Breezy. And he's thinking about repeaking this, maybe needing another flash from a teammate. And there it is. Little Man's lining it up. Breezy's going to commit to this peek, and he's going to swing on it. Easy kill on Stanislaw. As his teammate was so blind, he actually fell back downstairs and was unable to help Stanislaw. So 2 clean openers from NRG, and they're barely scratched.
Not to mention 2 players of the remaining 3 for Liquid still tagged already. Nitro out of nades to play off of. NRG still with lots of utility to respond. So we're going to see Liquid just group themselves together and try to play the numbers game. It's going to be a 3 versus 3 on the A site until NRG bolster the defense with a rotation. Nitro trying to lead the charge here and allow for JDM to stay scoped in. Needs to cover the Opper, who will hopefully be able to find some kind of a pick. Incendiary indicates the presence from mid. Liquid continue to creep on in.
Good smoke. It's going to allow JDM to feel more comfortable as he pushes up with his teammate. Little Man has support from Pit, and Daps can wide swing from lane. So these positions from NRG, 3 members just waiting. Liquid don't have too much information to go on. As Little Man's going to find Nitro, Breezy's going to wide swing, find JDM. Now it's all on Twist to keep Liquid in the game. But not tonight. NRG will split it.
Yeah, excellent game from them. I mean, Little Man and Breezy both having a hell of a performance, above 20 frags, and everybody stepping up when it mattered most. So, great game, and again, split maps.